Today marks day 2 of the nation's third largest railroad going on strike. It is suspended right now. New Jersey transit negotiations are scheduled to resume today after train engineers walked off the job on Friday. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy calling the strike, quote, a slap in the face to commuters. Hundreds of thousands of riders left scrambling to find alternative modes of transportation there. We're going to be speaking here with the representatives from both sides in this negotiation. But first, let's go ahead and bring in Mark Wallace. He's the national president of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen. He also serves as the president of the Teamsters Rail Conference. Mark, thank you so much for being here. I know you were in that meeting for 15 hours long. Tell our viewers what your members are demanding and why here.
Thank you, Gio. Our members are demanding fair pay. And so our members on New Jersey Transit make $10 less an hour than comparable railroads on Long Island Railroad and Amtrak in the region. And so what they've been seeking for the last 6 years is just parity with the locomotive engineers that they go to work beside of every day. They just work for a different rail carrier.
And many commuters, as you know, many commuters are frustrated right now. They're finding other modes of transport. We had the Rihanna concert, not the Rihanna concert, the Shakira concert yesterday at MetLife Stadium, and people had to find their way to get there another way because, of course, it is in New Jersey. Here's what some had to say. Take a look.
It's life, but I mean, you know, everybody wants to get paid. You know, they deserve it, but you know, it's going to hurt commuters.
I'm going to drive in and just make the best of it. It's not ideal, but I believe that the workers do have the right to make a good living. So we'll suffer through it. Hopefully it won't last for long.
And we know that several commuters are supporting you. I was out there yesterday with some of your picketers at Penn Station, and there were people coming around saying, go, do this, keep fighting. But what do you say to the 350,000 commuters who are impacted by this? Some of them are saying, I just need to get around.
Yeah, well, our locomotive engineers care about the commuters that they serve every day. But they've been without a pay raise for the last 6 years. We didn't walk away from negotiations Friday. New Jersey Transit did. The timeline was 12:01 a.m. strike date. They left negotiations. They got up from the table at 9:50. I ran into Kris, the CEO, yesterday. I called him and contacted him last night to set up meetings today instead of waiting till Sunday. Particularly because we care about the commuters and we care about the people that we serve. But we also want to be treated fairly. And our locomotive engineers have waited 6 years for a pay raise. And when we reach a fair settlement, this all lies with New Jersey Transit. They can solve this today by giving us equity.
And as you just mentioned Kris, the president there of the New Jersey Transit. We're going to speak to him right after this. Is there anything that you'd like to say to him ahead of this meeting today?
Let's get this done. I mean, that's what we wanted to do. That's been our goal for the last 6 years. That's our goal today. That's why I reached out to him last night in an effort to get negotiations going early so that we don't have to wait till Sunday. If we can get this done before the commuter week starts, then we're going to take care of the passengers that we serve.
All right, Mark Wallace, the president of the Union for the Engineers. Mark, thank you so much for joining us here. And now let's go ahead and bring in New Jersey Transit President Kris Kolluri. Kris, thank you so much for being here. What's your reaction to what Mark Wallace just said there? And tell us, why New Jersey has this position right now.
Look, let me first thank you for having me. I want to let you know that my position is actually not that different from Mark. I'm glad he reached out to me last night. I look forward to meeting him in a couple of hours, and if we have to meet, we'll meet him tomorrow. I just want to reiterate the position we've always had. I want to make sure that the locomotive engineers get a fair wage, but the second part of the equation is we can't break the bank doing it. That is the simple formula that is going to get us to a deal. No point in making a deal with this union, which will lead to the bankruptcy of the agency, if not the state. I am not going to be party to it, and that is this line in the sand that the governor and I've drawn. But I want to reiterate, the 350,000 commuters that depend on this system is our highest priority. So what I've said is we will never leave the negotiating table, and we'll get to a deal, and I'm looking forward to meeting them to do just that.
Well, you say that you'll never leave the table, but it turns out, at least according to Mark, that you had that deadline of 12:01 and the state walked away from the table at 9:50. Why did that happen?
I think I think it's a bit of an overstatement. I thought it was a very conciliatory end to a conversation. I said that the deal they put in front of us was fair to them, but not fair to the taxpayers. I said, and I put a counter proposal on there that would pay for it. And I said, why don't we take a break and we'll think about where we go next? I'm not sure that is me walking out in a huff and a puff. I think all we're basically saying is let's work out a deal that gets to a solution that they want, but the taxpayers can afford. This isn't rocket science. I think we can get to a deal, and I think the deal is imminent. And I also want to say to your viewers and more importantly, my customers, that we have 95% agreed on all the terms and conditions. This is something that I think we can work out, and I'm confident we will.
What are the sticking points right now?
It just simply comes down to the wage that the union wants and how we're going to pay for it. Gio, I want to say this to you. The easiest thing for me and the governor to do would be to say, let's just make a deal and let the next governor and the next administration worry about how to pay for it. That is exactly what has plagued this country for over 50 years. Everybody wants to make a deal and let somebody else pay for it. I just won't do it. We have to be financially responsible. We keep talking about how we're going to be affordable. Well, you can't make an affordable deal if it's unaffordable to begin with. I get money from three sources: riders, the corporate business tax, that corporate transit fees that comes from businesses, or the taxpayers of New Jersey. I'm not a for-profit corporation. I'm a management in title only. I report to the taxpayers. This is a publicly funded organization. We are not going to break the bank to make a deal that is just financially not acceptable. I think we can get there. These are the positions that Mark Wallace has taken and the one I've taken are not necessarily in conflict. We have to stitch together a deal that works for them, but the one that does not put the taxpayers in a lurch.
So, Kris, today the negotiations will continue and perhaps even tomorrow. What's the timeline that we're looking at here?
Look, I mean, I'm so glad Mark reached out to me last night. I said I would meet him, and I am going to meet him today. I'll meet with him as long as we want, and I intend to do the same. The National Mediation Board has asked for the meeting tomorrow. We will do that again if we have to. No one wants to see a strike continue. I never wanted to see a strike. The union exercised its rights to carry out a strike. That's their right, and they did it. But I will tell you, strike or no strike, the deal that we have to strike to get this all over with has to be fair to them, but has to be fair for the taxpayers.
All right, Kris Kolluri, the president of New Jersey Transit. First of all, we so appreciate you coming on in the midst of all that's going on, that you and Mark made time for us, and we so appreciate that, and we appreciate that transparency. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for taking the time.